Hello everyone, welcome to Roma Theory. The Saudis are back haunting Serie A teams. After Milinkovic-Savic, their next Serie A objective is indeed Leonardo Spinazzola. Roma player, Roma left fullback. So yeah, that's something we'll discuss today. Another thing which we will discuss today is Thiago Pinto, scheduling a meeting in the following days with Alvaro Morata's agents. Now, does that mean that there is a little chance that we could be getting both Scamacca and Morata? That's something which we will touch on today. And then obviously to conclude, Christensen, because in a period of the transfer window where everything feels blocked, we basically have our fourth signing of the season. Christensen is in Rome. Christensen will undergo medicals tomorrow, and Christensen will be available for pre-season very, very soon. In fact, starting from this weekend. So that's something which we can discuss, but I've announced it, so there isn't much to say, but there is definitely something, we'll just chat about it. But I'll start with Spina, because Spina is definitely the breaking news of the day. There haven't been many breaking news, but the biggest news today has been this one. Al-Shabaab wants Spinazzola. Now you look at their offer and you're like, come on. Spinazzola is not worth 7 million euros. And that is the biggest topic when we speak about this, because they offered 7 million to us. Why do we need, and not that we have accepted this, but why do we need to even think about accepting a 7 million move for our best fullback in the team? It's as people are saying in the chat, it's a robbery. So, no, don't sell him for 7 million. If the offer kind of increases, yes, sell him is my answer. And we'll get into that in a second. Saudis again. Saudis are back. Saudis obviously have set new objectives. I mean, it's very interesting to see what they're doing, you know. It's very interesting to see what they're doing because you can actually see how well they are collaborating in this. And I hate giving compliments to them, because as much as they have they know what they're doing, and you can say whatever you want apart from the fact that they don't know what they're doing. They know what they are doing, those Saudis. You might not like to see it, you might hate it, but unfortunately they are geniuses of this. They know what they're doing, and they are going to continue doing this. Not just throughout this summer, throughout this January window, throughout next summer. It's just the start of this Saudi Arabia abomination. Let's call it like that. And people say, well, it happened with China a few years ago, and then kind of this bubble exploded, and then the Chinese league, nobody ever goes there anymore. It could be a cycle. It could be a moment in football where the Saudis want to make themselves big, and they obviously are trying to do everything they possibly can do, possibly humanly, you get the point. And then in a few years, they will see this project fade down. That could happen. But I think this is different from the Chinese league project. I think this is different, first of all, because of the money which is circulating. Because the money which is circulating from these Saudi teams, from the Saudi league, is something else. Like, China had a lot of money, but nowhere close to the amount of money the Saudis have. And the second reason is that China did something similar, but they didn't start with big players. Now, the big difference here, and one of the big reasons of why we are seeing young players, such as Milinkovic-Savic, who is in the peak of his career, move to leagues like the Saudi League, is because they've done something very strategic here. They have started their invasion of European football with big names. The first ever name to start this was Cristiano Ronaldo, and he's the biggest name in the world. In fact, he is. He's the most followed human being on Instagram. So, Cristiano Ronaldo is the biggest name in the history of Earth. So, starting with such a name and following on with names like Benzema is a massive difference. And it's the reason why a lot of these players or starting to get apart from the money part, to get even, we could say, slightly attracted to that league. So yeah, I mean, going back to Spinazzola, Al-Shabaab are interested in him. Now, you're probably going, well, the few teams which normally buy players are Al-Nassr, Al-Hilal, and Al-Attifaq, the Steven Gerrard team. Never heard of Al-Shabaab, but yeah, that's another team. They want Spinazzola. Another reason, which can I say I would love to point out, is that they are all of these teams are collaborating very, very well. Very, very well. Because they are showing us that they don't have competition between them. They don't have competition between them. They are working all together. Something which in the Italian league you would never see. Roma, Lazio, Milan, and all of these teams teaming up to get players and make the league a very well-known team. That's another thing the Saudis are doing. The reason why every big player gets bought by every different team is a strategic point of view. They are collaborating together so that all together as a team they are making that league a well-known team. They are improving the tourism of the country. It's just a teamwork. But going back to Roma, Spinazzola, they've offered 7 million to us and 6 million for 3 years to Spinazzola. Look, I mean, if you compare this offer to the likes of many other names which have moved to Saudi teams in these past weeks, it's nothing. You know, Spinazzola earns more than half the amount that he could be earning in Saudi Arabia at Roma. So, as much as, yes, a lot of these players go there for money, yes, you can say that for Spinazzola, but 6 million is roughly what he earns here at Roma, so it wouldn't be a massive difference. But the thing which irritates me is 7 million to us. Like, how on this damn earth are we allowed to accept a 7 million offer for a best fullback? Like, it just makes no sense. And look, we can't be asking too much money. I am very aware of that. Because he's got 1 year left in his contract and he's coming from a poor season. If you combine these two things, especially the fact that he's got 1 year left in his contract, you can never ask more than 15 million euros. 15 million euros is the maximum we could be getting from this. There is no little peak of light that we will get more than 15 million euros for Spinazzola. This is no matter where he goes. He could be going to Arabia, he could be going to Real Madrid. We will never get more than 15 million euros. And rightly so, because he's got 1 year left in his contract and he's coming from a poor season. So an offer of around 15 million euros for Spinazzola for me is a yes immediately. Problem is, the offer isn't 15 million euros. The offer is less than half the amount of that. 7 million euros for Spinazzola is criminal. It is absolutely criminal because Brian Reynolds, which the Belgian team are interested in, is worth 4 million. Spinazzola is better than Ryan Reynolds. Not Ryan Reynolds, that's Deadpool. Brian Reynolds. So, look, I will be happy if we get 12 million euros from this. Because I know that it is hard to get more money than that. But we can't let Spinazzola go for 7 million euros because what do we get? We just lose a player. And then we put ourselves in a risk where we get nothing from the deal and we also kind of let time run away from us. And what happens if we don't get a replacement? So you see, selling Spinazzola for me is a yes. But under two conditions. The first condition is that we get more money than 7 million, more money than 10 million, around 12 million. For me is fine because Spinazzola will never be the player he was before his injury. And the second condition of me saying yes to Spinazzola leaving is if we are guaranteed a replacement. Guaranteed a replacement. And we already know who it is. Because otherwise, that's other time wasted in the transfer window. I am aware that we need to sell a player. In fact, game for everybody. You're Thiago Pinto right now. You need to pick one player in this Roma team to sell to fuel up the transfer window. Who do you sell and why? In the live chat. Let me know. It's between Ibanez and Spinazzola. Who do I sell out of the two? I would rather sell Ibanez because I get around 25 million for Ibanez, and 25 million for Ibanez is an understandable deal. 7 million for Spinazzola is not an understandable deal. So out of the two players, I'd rather sell Spinazzola because of the player he is, and because Ibanez is obviously younger, it's got more potentials, more prospects than that. But at the same time, I would rather sell Ibanez because of the financial deeds. I don't know. That's something Thiago Pinto needs to do. I'm not the general director, so I'm not here to choose that. But I want everybody here, because look, we have to sell a player. It's very easy for us to go, well, I don't want to sell anybody. Yes, I know, I don't want to sell anybody as well. But look, the delay that we are having in this transfer window truly explain this. We will need to sell a player. Who will that player be? Who do you sell if you're Thiago Pinto? Is it Ibanez? Is it Spinazzola? Is it somebody else? Can't be Tammy Abraham, obviously, because I would have said Tammy too, but it can't be him. So, again, we are coming towards a series of unfortunate events after Tammy's injury, after us losing the final and not qualifying for the Champions League. Uneventful events. We're in the situation we are right now. Who do you sell and why? Anyways, conclusion here is, if the big offer comes, I would sell Spinazzola, but nowhere close to 7 million, because he's worth more than that, and we have all the rights to ask more than that. Moving on. Thiago Pinto has scheduled a meeting with Morata's agents in these coming days, as reported by Il Corriere dello Sport. That's big, but it isn't big. The big question here is there a chance we could be getting both Morata and Scamacca? I highly doubt it. Look, I don't want to be delusional here. Unless any surprises happen, I struggle to believe we will get both of these two players. If we do get both Scamacca and Morata, then Mourinho will be very happy. Getting both Scamacca and Morata right now, especially right now that we haven't sold anybody, is virtually impossible. The problem with Morata is something weird. Morata wants to leave Atletico Madrid. And Morata and his agents are convinced that when Morata signed his contract, they inserted a release clause of 12 million euros. However, Atletico Madrid are convinced, on the other hand, that that release clause is around 21 million euros. Now you see, there's a big difference there. Because if Morata's release clause is close to 10 million, that's a steal. If Morata's release clause is close to 20 million, that's another thing. And this is exactly why all of the teams which are interested in Morata haven't prepared that assault. Because they do not know who's correct in this. Is Morata right, or is Atletico Madrid right? Do I need to pay 12 million to release him from Atletico Madrid, or do I need to pay 20 million to release him from Atletico Madrid? Very different scenarios. Therefore, I think any team who's interested in him will want to know what the release clause is, to then maybe think about a move. This is exactly why Thiago Pinto is going to meet with Morata's agents. Not because Morata, we were in advanced talks to sign him, but just because Thiago Pinto wants to understand if there is a chance to get him, if we can actually do this move. Do we have the money to do this? Is it 20 million or is it 10 million? That's something which he will ask. If it's 10 million, I think it can happen. If it's 20 million, forget about it. It's not happening. So yeah, the chance to see both Scamacca and Morata, in my opinion, is highly unlikely. Who do I pick out of the two? Before Scamacca's interview, I would have said Morata. After Scamacca's interview, I'm going with Scamacca. Obviously, it would be great to have them both, but it would also be great for me to be married with Bella Hadid, but unfortunately, that can't happen. You gotta be realistic. We gotta be real. We are most probably gonna get two strikers. The chances of both these two strikers being Morata and Scamacca are very, very low. One of the two, I truly think will happen. And I know Scamacca, West Ham are being a pain in the ass. I know that. I read the news every day. West Ham right now are not opening up for a loan. Thiago Pinto's preparing a new move. Thiago Pinto's refreshed offer for West Ham is a loan with the right to buy back around 25 million, which can turn into an obligation to buy back according to his appearances, according to the goals he scores, and according to us qualifying for the Champions League. I don't know if West Ham will accept that. Obviously, I think he will be a big push in this. Scamacca will be the reason why this deal will be completed, if it will be completed. My prediction is this deal will be completed, but I don't want to get too wishful here, because we have got time parameters to follow as well. In a sense that, yes, okay, I want Scamacca. I'm going to try my best to sign Scamacca. Yes, okay, I'm with Scamacca. I'm contacting West Ham. Okay, these deals are continuing. But if in the next 10 days, West Ham don't open up for a loan move, sorry, you can kiss my balls, I'm forced to move on. Because we're not West Ham's puppets. I know they won the Conference League and they feel like biggies right now, but you're not big. So West Ham trying to act big, they're definitely bigger than us in terms of finances. Not arguing about that, no doubt they're bigger than us. But West Ham here, and they've got all the rights to do this because they paid Scamacca quite a lot of money. So they are in a position where they need to ask money. But if West Ham continue to be a pain in the ass, I'm sorry, we have to move on. We can't be waiting for Scamacca until the day the meteorite hits us. So I think the priority remains Scamacca, and we will be trying to accelerate this deal in these coming days. But if Thiago Pinto gets the impression that these English Brits, West Ham general directors, aren't going to open up for a loan under some conditions which Roma have written down, I'm sorry, we have to move on. And that's where we could get Scamacca. And this is why we've met with his agents, to keep the plan Bs available. Scamacca is the plan A, and we know that. He is plan A for us, we are plan A for him. But unfortunately, as I just said 20 times, we can't be waiting too long. Therefore, in the next 10 days, if we don't get Scamacca, and if West Ham don't open up, we got to move on. And that's just the way it is. It's a complicated deal. I have to be honest with you, I do not see us closing in on this deal anytime soon. And when I say anytime soon, in the next week, I just don't see it happen. Because English teams are so more powerful than us, that for us to convince an English team to follow what we are asking for, I just can't see it happen anytime soon. It's just the way it is. I'm not trying to be negative here. I just can't see it happen anytime soon. So the question here will be, will Thiago Pinto continue fighting, or will Thiago Pinto give up and maybe challenge other options? I don't know. I really don't know. And that's the reason why we are delaying. We are delaying because we want him, but these West Ham twats aren't opening up. So I don't know. I don't know if it happens. I still think he will become a Roma player. And this is something which Di Marzio said as well. According to Di Marzio, Scamacca will become a Roma player. You just need time. You just got to be patient. And I know we need to get a striker in as soon as possible. Maybe the strategy could be continuing contacts with West Ham for Scamacca, trying to convince them to open up. In the meantime, get a cheaper striker, which when Scamacca will come, will be the second striker. So that at least we can get a striker in for pre-season. So that could be another strategy. But yeah, I just don't want us to fix too much time on one single player. Because yes, at the end of the day, I love Scamacca. He's put us above everything. He deserves this move. But at the end of the day, you know, he's not Maradona. You know, we can't be waiting for him too long. So, and also for our respect, we got to move on. We have to move on. We've got a season to prepare. And I know West Ham are trying to be cocky here, but we just if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, we move on. And then look, let's end the stream on a positive, because as I said, we've delayed a few things. We were in a blocked stage of the transfer window. Christensen is a done deal. Christensen is in Rome at time of speaking. Medicals tomorrow. Maybe even the official statement tomorrow, but that will most probably happen this weekend. And then he will be off for Mourinho pre-season. He will become the starting fullback with Celik and potentially Korstop as backups. And that's our defense complete in the meantime of of Spinazzola. So yeah. Yeah. Anyways, let's read some comments. With the money that they're throwing around, Pinto better get them to double the 7 million offer. No way I would do it for 7 million. 10 plus is the minimum. I agree. I don't think we will have time to get a new left back, midfielder, and 2 strikers. Simon, please. I really want to join the Roma fan club. How can one join it? Because I am in Italy. I don't know, mate. Because I'm not part of a Roma fan club. Maybe try searching on Facebook, Twitter. 7 million would be a robbery. Maybe if they wanted Korsov for that price. He's a typical Mourinho player. Yeah, Adama Traore could be another option. He's a free agent. Milan have withdrawn from the race. Who knows? Simon, what do you think about Borna Souza from Stuttgart as a Roma new left wing back? Never heard of him, mate. I'll look into it, but I've never heard him. Ibanez all day, every day. Sell Ibanez and Vigna and renew Spina. Keep Spina, and if we get a new left back, make him backup or sell him. Bella Hadid, what about your girlfriend, mate? Yeah, sorry, should have never said that. Selling Ibanez actually makes a lot of sense. Yes, he's a real talent, but he has a kind of mental lapse that seems to stick unless he moves to a new environment. This way, both him and Roma wins. Yeah, and the reason why Ibanez is the one which I would sell is because selling Ibanez, you know, we've made it clear. Unlike Spinazzola, Ibanez doesn't have 1 year left in his contract, and Ibanez, apart from those derby performances, is coming from a really good season. Therefore, unlike Spinazzola, we are in a position to go, I am not accepting any offers less than 25 million. And 25 million euros for Ibanez is a perfect deal. Ibanez is worth 25 million. Maybe even 30. Not more than that, not less than that. So getting 25 to 30 million for Ibanez would be the perfect deal. That's a lot of money, which we will have to reinvest in a very good way. But getting 25 million for Ibanez is the perfect deal. Anyways, this delay continues. We will see if we have any updates. We'll see if we have anything which Di Marzio will announce tonight in his show. But look, we've got to be patient. Let's be patient, and I'm sure that we will get the positions that we are desperately in need to cover. I'm going to catch you tomorrow. If you haven't already, smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. There's quite a lot of you in. So if you could click the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already before leaving the stream. It would support me a lot and all of this community, which everybody is part of. Enjoy it every day. I've enjoyed it today. Take care. And yeah, enjoy your Thursday evening, and I will catch you tomorrow. Simo out.